On October 5th, 2020, something very strange happened. I woke up that morning with my right hand completely asleep. That's not terribly unusual since I tend to move around a lot in my sleep and sometimes assume some strange positions. What was unusual is that while the feeling slowly faded over the course of the morning, it never quite went away. Since it was the fall of 2020, I immediately assumed it was COVID. COVID fucked up my hand. If something weird has happened to you health-wise in the past, 10 months, and your first thought wasn't, oh great, GG, I got the Rona, guess this is it, farewell friends, then you either live in an underground bunker somewhere, or you are lying. More specifically, I thought of Guillain-Barré syndrome. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, where your body fends off a virus, whether you have symptoms or not, and then overcompensates by turning around and attacking itself. That's probably a massive oversimplification, but we're just gonna roll with it. Correct me in the comments. Anyway, numb and or tingling extremities can be a feature. So I went and streamed anyway because I am really smart and make good decisions and have a brain with many, many deep folds, and I played Blood Rain on PlayStation 2, this after working on the computer all day. I ended a little bit early because I got into my own head about the whole thing from overthinking it. So I went and vented to my husband, who was like, hey, you know what this really sounds like? Carpal tunnel. I got a quick diagnosis from Dr. Wikipedia, dug out a brace, slapped it on, and boom, instant relief. And no, I didn't go to the doctor because I don't want to pay $30 for my general practitioner to send me to a specialist so I can pay them $60 to tell me that I need to rest it and not use it for a while unemployed and living in a ludicrously expensive apartment that I chose because it was close to the job I no longer have. Anyway, that's where I am now. Carpal tunnel syndrome in my dominant right hand. I didn't commit at first. So I used the brace just as compression at first. That didn't work. Then I put the metal part in, but I was still using the hand. That didn't work. Finally, I put the whole brace on and just didn't use my right hand for at least 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, somewhere in that realm of time. It was pretty rough. I typed out this script with my left hand. If you've never required your non-dominant hand to do your proverbial and literal heavy lifting for a while, let me assure you that the difficulty curve is very steep. Here, let's try it. Take your non-dominant hand and minimize this window. Do it now. I'll wait. You closed the window, didn't you? Good job! Wow. I was gonna be more insulting in this script, but I decided not to do it. I'm just not in that mood today. Here's the thing. If this had happened last year, it would be annoying, but it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. I would have gone to work, I would have lifted the heavy boxes required with my left hand because I can do so, and I would have just piddled around my work computer left-handedly while my supervisor sighed and shook his head, hands tied by HR. I would have seen friends and cracked jokes, then on the way home I'd stop at the grocery and have a chat with the cashier, carry everything out with my left hand because I refused to use a cart for some reason. I'd go home, chat with my neighbor, then enjoy a great meal with my husband and do whatever for the rest of the evening. Instead, it's January 2021. I haven't seen a friend since August, and before that, the same friend in February. Before that, we had a party, so there's that at least. We don't leave our apartment unless we really have to, and we know that we are privileged to do this. We're doing our part to not become vectors in our community and put others who do not have the choice to stay put in danger. It is a lonely, necessary existence, which is really difficult when you see people going out to parties and fucking around. Not literally, just, doing random shit with other people. After having the experience of only using my left hand for a good chunk of time, it has become starkly clear to me how much communication is done with our hands in this era, and especially in this year / 2021. It's kind of the same year at this point. It's still 2020 in a way. But carpal tunnel is the laryngitis of a digital age. Now, like with laryngitis, I could squeak out a response, but it was often short, slow, and uncomfortable. Talking to somebody who is actively sitting at their computer waiting on you and answering immediately while you frantically try to plunk out a follow-up to what you just sent is agony. Holding a digital conversation is a hasty, sloppy mess when you can only use one hand. Hitting send on that small paragraph is a tiny victory that quickly crumbles into despair as the reciprocant sends back an essay of correspondence that you now feel obligated to respond to. Because it's too late, you've already seen it and they know you've seen it. You can't just walk away. You gotta answer. I know I could just call them, but when's the last time you called somebody who wasn't family just for a chat? And would they even pick up? We've come a long way since the days when your rotary phone was tethered to the wall of your kitchen, and even a long way from my youth of AIM jargon. Is it AIM or AIM? Whatever. And digital home phones. The ways in which we communicate have changed. We don't shorthand anymore. We type out long, complex thoughts in full sentences, nuanced emotions in essay format. Unlike with a real conversation, we have a chance to express ourselves in a complete and calculated manner. We have a moment to compose and reflect before responding. However, vocal inflection, body language, and eye contact is lost. Does one form of communication give a better picture as a whole of who a person really is than the other? I don't know. But in the ghost of 2020 and the ghost fart of 2020, when getting too close to someone's vocal inflection and body language can make you really sick, a text-based communication style is key. Which was really difficult when I only had one hand. Anyway, as a final thought, you might be wondering what caused all of this in the first place. Was it playing too many video games? Using the computer all day? Bad posture? Sleeping like a cat with my arms tucked under me? Probably not, since I do all of those things all the time and this was the first time I've had this issue. So what do I think started it? Well, at the end of September, I started making masala chai, like real masala chai with loose leaf tea and spices and a pot on the stove. Being the big brain genius that I am, I decided to grind everything by hand in a mortar and pestle, including a cup and a half of black pepper. The thing is, we already have a tool that can accomplish that just fine. What the heck was I thinking? End of video. Goodbye.